Alrighty, it's 5 p.m. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Alrighty, we'll start with the roll call. Roll call's been taken. We'll now move on to the pledge. If everybody will stand. Dr. Miller, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Lisa, do we have any delegation? Okay. Alrighty, we'll move into reports and start with the Gilmer County Spelling Bee winners. Mrs. West, is that you making?
Yes. Good evening. Is it on? Is it on now? Maybe.
It's on. Yeah. Okay. So we'll begin with our Gilmer County Spelling Bee winners. And this evening, we want to present certificates. I know it's a busy evening, so we've got a lot of kids we want to recognize, and I don't see very many here, but I will call their names so that you'll know who participated. First place for Spelling Bee for Gilmer County was Adelaide Chapman. Second place, Abigail Nichols. Congratulations. You want to turn there and look? You want to come up here? We'll get a picture. Our spelling bee. Yep. Our spelling bee, folks. Third place for Gilmer County Spelling Bee was Ariel Spanogle.
There we go.
You and Abby want to wait up here. We'll get a group picture. Okay. All right. Fourth place, Gilmer County Spelling Bee, Jace Madison. And Jace isn't with us this evening. And fifth place, Gilmer County Spelling Bee, Macy Smith. Stand right here. Ms. Lisa will grab a picture of our three ladies. Regional Spelling Bee will be Saturday, March the 9th at Fairmont. And moms and dads, I will drive the van. If you're unable to take them and you want them to go with me, we can talk about that. Even the alternates, they may not compete, but if they would want to go and watch it, we could talk about that. So if we need to make arrangements, let me know. Okay? Congratulations. Thank you.
Good job, girls.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job.
Next, we will recognize our social studies fair winners at the county level.
Got to hit 9 first.
And we will begin with first place. This was in Division I, United States History, Jacob Brody Campbell. I don't see Jacob this evening. Social Studies Division I, State and Local Studies, second place, Lucas Shiflett. And, second place, Division II, World History, was Cheryl Craig, and her certificate has already been picked up. The Regional Social Studies Fair will be hosted at the Waco Center on Thursday, March the 7th. And I would encourage, if you get the chance and can come by and see those projects, that's a really great opportunity to see what regional projects look like. And Jacob Brody Campbell will represent Gilmer County at that regional competition. So congratulations to JB. Science Fair, first place, Division III in the Science Fair, Earth and Environmental Science, was Asha Hess. And Asha is not with us this evening, but Asha competed this past Saturday at the regional, and she placed third.
Great.
So she placed county and she placed at regional. Then we have First place, Division I, Earth Environmental Science, Journey Miller Roberts. Journey also competed at regional on Saturday, and she placed second. So yes, that was great. Division I, second place, Earth and Environmental Science, Caleb Shackelford. And Caleb's not with us this evening. Division I, Earth Environmental Science, third place, Paisley Armstrong. Division II, Energy, first place, Riley Crouch. And Riley was unable to attend regional on Saturday. And Division I, Materials Science, third place, Lucas Hardman. And Lucas is here. Come on up, Lucas. Now, if you'll come stand, the board members will stand behind you.
Job, Lucas.
Congratulations to all of our students, and we look forward to seeing what you do next year in academic competitions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks for
Congratulations.
participating.
And at this point, if you want to leave, you're
Yeah.
welcome
More than
to.
welcome, or you're more than welcome to stay, one way or the other. Yes, see ya. All right, Dr. Barr, you're still over here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem. All righty, so that'll move us into the consent agenda, and we'll start with the approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the January 22nd meeting.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the January 22nd, 2024 meeting. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, we will now move into the treasurer's report. Christie.
First thing I have is scheduled checks to be written. Any questions on any of this? And then the second thing I have is budget supplements and transfers. On transfers, we did professional development. We took $20,550. And there was some old Sanford money out there, so we moved that into professional development so we could use that. $50,000, the electricity was over budgeted, so we took some of that and we're going to use that for financial mentorship, custodial floor sweeper road, and the Gilmer County Elementary School parking lot sealant. We're going to use that for that. The other one is Gilmer County Elementary School storage building. That money was supposed to have come from step 7, so we transferred money from step 7 to fund that project if we decided to move forward with that. And as far as supplements, on January 2nd, revised unfunded retirement allocation. We get an allocation schedule every year, so we have to put that in there for budget purposes. So that's what that is at $23,207. And then the next one is sale of bus revenue. And where we sold some buses recently, we got a wire in for $18,105. So we put that there for bus replacement. Is there any question on those?
Make
No.
a motion to approve the budget supplements and transfers.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the budget supplements and transfers. Is there any further discussion of that main motion or any amendments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Okay, we've got scheduled checks still on to be
Make a
approved.
motion to approve the schedule of checks to be written.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the schedule of checks to be written. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Christie, thank you.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Mrs. West, if we have another presentation you need to make, I'll move back up on the agenda and let you do that.
So this is Paisley Armstrong. Paisley participated in the Gilmer County Science Fair, and she competed in Division I, Earth and Environmental Science. And her project won 3rd place.
Great job.
Good
So we
job.
are very proud of Miss Paisley. We're going to turn here and look at Mom and get our picture taken. You want to hold that in front of you there? Good. Now, if you'll come and stand in front of the board members will stand behind you. Hold your certificate there.
Get those hands out of that mouth, boy.
Righty.
Thank you, Miss
Well,
Paisley.
congratulations.
Thank you, Mom.
Paisley.
All right. Thank you again, Mrs. West, for those presentations. All righty, let's move into new business and start with approval of policy 3120.12, which is subs and areas of critical need. Dr. Manning.
This been out on comment. Of course, we update this every year, which provides us some cohesiveness with finding people that we have in those areas that we can't find. It also allows us to pay those people past a certain point because they're in a critical area of need. So a lot of folks that are retired and so on and so forth. So it provides us this policy, the updated version, of course, is submitted every year, and you can see the updated areas, but this provides us additional support for substitutes, which of course are hard to come by. And this first one, I believe it's in professionals, the shortage of folks in professional positions, and it outlines exactly what those areas are.
Make a motion to approve policy 3120.12, substitutes in areas of critical need.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve policy 3120.12, substitutes in areas of critical need. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, we'll move on to the next policy and go to policy 4120.12, areas of critical need for substitute bus operators. Dr. Manning.
Exactly as it states, it's even more critical to find substitutes in bus operators. It's getting harder and harder, and this policy outlines our process for those areas and the parameters for those areas for substitutes of bus operators, specifically being able to do things as pay and different things for people that are retired.
Make a motion to approve policy 4120.12, areas of critical need for substitute bus operators.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve policy 4120.12, areas of critical need for substitute bus operators. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, we will move it down to old business, and we have architect firm selection for freezer project at Gilmer County High School. Dr. Manning.
This was the process for selecting the firm. I believe that Williams and Shriver was the only firm that we had back that gave us the qualifications, statement of qualifications. So I'd like to make that recommendation that we accept Williams and Shriver as our architect firm for our freezer project, our SBA funded freezer project at GCHS.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the superintendent's recommendation on the selection of Williamson and Shriver as the architect for the freezer project at Gilmer County High School. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, we will move into personnel. Dr. Manning.
First, professional, we've got Robin Roberts, hired substitute teacher. Samantha Soa, hired as a substitute teacher. Carolyn Tennell, resignation, substitute teacher, Gilmer County Schools, effective 1/30/24. Kyra Bauer, resignation, substitute teacher, Gilmer County Schools, effective 1/4/24. Anna Dick, resignation, substitute teacher, Gilmer County Schools, effective 2/14/24. And Christina Hacker, resignation, treasurer, Gilmer County Schools, effective 2/15/24.
Make a motion to approve the professional portion of the personnel list.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the professional portion of the personnel agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion of that main motion?
Christie, if I'd known this was going to be your last checks to be written, I would have gave you a little bit of harder time, I'm telling you. We understand.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty, we'll move on to service. Dr. Manning.
Service, we got Peggy Harmon, resignation, cook, Gilmer County High School, effective 2/20/24. And then Peggy Harmon to be hired as a substitute cook, Gilmer County Schools, effective 2/21/24.
Make a motion to approve the service portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the service portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. We'll move on to extracurricular.
Extracurricular, got Leslie Campbell, resignation, ESL teacher, effective 2/2/24.
Make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All righty. That will conclude personnel, and we will move on to continuous improvement, which is an update on the science of reading and unite with numeracy. Mrs. West.
With the House Bill 3035, of course, science of reading is very much in the forefront of conversations throughout the nation. And with our science of reading implementation in Gilmer County, we have a team that meets monthly at the elementary school. We'll be meeting tomorrow. And Amanda Poole and I have been a part of the Communities in Practice. That's where several counties, we come together on teams and we have a meeting. We'll have another one coming up soon. But our literacy specialist also comes into Gilmer County once a month, Samantha Sparks. So she'll be with us again on Wednesday. From our conversations with Samantha, one of the books that she recommended for our staff to read is The Seven Mighty Moves. And so currently the elementary staff is participating in a book study. It takes place on Schoology. Questions are posted. They respond to those once they've read assigned chapters, and then they comment in the discussions on what others have said. So that is taking place at our elementary school book study. We also, according to the House bill, our staff need to be trained on dyslexia. And so the Department of Education, in support of that, has created a course in Canvas. And so Friday, I'll be sharing with our faculty senate at the elementary school what that course looks like, the 4 modules. Once they complete that, it will generate a certificate that they have completed. I would allow myself an hour to take the 4 modules, but you could complete it as early as 30 minutes. So the 4 pieces to it, one in particular has to do with the tier systems of support, which again, we have lots of questions about. So I think that'll be a support to our staff. And then also the 4th module in that course pertains to special education and the conversation around dyslexia. So I think it'll be a very good professional opportunity for our staff to complete, and it will satisfy the House Bill's requirement for staff to be trained. So that's our science of reading. That's what's taking place. I would encourage you to visit and see the classrooms, see what teachers are doing. It's exciting. It's exciting when kids learn to read. And again, there's a code, and you can crack the code. There's just a very few words that you have to have the heart sounds, identify those heart sounds. So that's from the science of reading. On the other side, we have Unite with Numeracy, and I don't know that I've spoken to you about that. We have 2 educators in Gilmer County that are a part of a network throughout the state. Amber Frazier represents our elementary. Morgan Allen represents our middle high school. And they have been doing a lot of extra work. There have been some face-to-face meetings. There have been several evenings they've met with folks from the network. The book that they were asked to read is this text, which I believe our superintendent received a copy a couple of weeks ago. It's the idea of building thinking classrooms. So often in education, we lesson plan for students not to think. They just wait for us to give them the answers. And when you read this, it's a book that contains 15 years of research and what he found happening in classrooms. So the ideal classroom, and I have shared this with our staff, is a room with no furniture in it. From the research, that is where the most engagement and the most learning took place. And of course, we very much want our desks and chairs and stuff. We've got to have lots of stuff as teachers. So one of the ways we are implementing this practice is in what's called vertical spaces. And so rather than students sitting, they get up, they go to a board that's empty. And on the board, there is a task posted. And the students work in teams of 3. And one has the marker and does the writing. One does the thinking and speaking, and the third person observes. And so they work in teams of 3. So it's teaching that collaboration piece. So there's very much a system to how it's implemented. One of the issues we saw early on, Mrs. Frazier shared, she had to teach them to stand. They didn't want to stand. They want to lean. They're tired. But now, 5th grade, they are standing up to 35 minutes. And when you look at the research, that's where you have the most engagement, is when students are standing in a small group working in a vertical blank space. Until she actually received her boards, she used her windows. There's some images, if you go back through the app, you'll see there's some pictures from her classroom where the students were working actually on the windows with markers, the dry erase markers. And so that's also been implemented in our 6th grade math. But then Mrs. Facemeyer saw what was happening and the enthusiasm. The kids were wanting to learn and excited about learning. So she took it across the hall into the ELA. 6th grade. So there is another book, very similar, but how you can take the vertical spaces into other content areas. And so this is a practice, research-based practice, that our Department of Education is pushing out. Our teachers have been very receptive. I know 4th grade has observed. I know 3rd grade's wanting to observe. But again, getting kids up out of their seats and having that engagement where true learning takes place. So those are some of the things happening in Gilmer County.
Great,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you. All righty. We'll move into the superintendent's update. Dr. Benning.
Well, you've caught my update the last few weeks. I've constantly put on there that I'm getting ready to go to the National ASA conference. and it's in San Diego. And I will be putting out a shortened version of the bulletin this coming up week because I'll be traveling and trying to do all of that at the same time. So I've got that going on, and the one thing that I wanted to get squared away before I left was a special meeting to do an interim treasurer, and we've got that squared away, I think. So as far as any update, I'm sure I'll have more when I get back from my conference, but I plan on traveling tomorrow and getting there and keeping an open mind and hopefully learn a lot from the national conference. So that's what I've got going on. And we've got a presentation that we'll give you next time. It's going to be about our accountability. We've had Miss Butcher out. She's walking through the schools and starting to get that feedback. And we've got a process that we'd like to show you and highlight to you at the next board meeting about where we're going with our accountability process and where we're at meeting our goals and so on and so forth.
All righty. If that's everything, we'll move into board member comments. Start with Mr. Chapman.
Congratulations to our girls varsity basketball team on the LKC championship last night, or night before last. That was a hard fought match. Thanks to Eric Squires that live streamed it on his phone. We got to watch it. We had flus going around our house. And this is a home-based student, but Gage Goodrich, he's a junior high student, I believe, maybe 8th grade, won the state's wrestling championship, I think the 95-pound or 98-pound class, which is, that's really big too. So congrats to him. We're also in the transition of basketball and baseball, and I know both teams are practicing, and I'm also affiliated with the youth league here. So any from 5th grade down, any kid, well, actually, I think we go all the way up to 14U, but our rec league program we're starting sign up. So get on the Gilmer County Youth Baseball and Softball page on Facebook, and you can find an online sign up there to get your youth kid, boy or girl, signed up for baseball or softball. And I think that's about it.
All righty, Dr. Miller.
Cody, Dustin, and I traveled to Charleston last Friday and Saturday for the State Board of Education Winter Conference. I guess the biggest thing I took away from it was perhaps from the safety talk that we had. There is an app that has been put out by the state that can be put on all the computers for all the kids in the school. And basically, it's along the lines of see something, say something, that if they see something suspicious or hear something suspicious, they can report it through that app. And it goes directly to a switchboard and then gets sent to the appropriate people. The other thing is I asked the group about panic buttons because I had read an article about schools having a panic button like in the office or, kind of like banks do. If it's a silent thing that if you're being robbed, you just hit the button. And I did get some information from one of the counties that has done that, and I've got the contact person, and I'll send that to you. I think they set it up along with their alarm system. So, but I thought that might be a good idea, even in the offices or the entryways, that if someone's startled with something, they can discreetly press a button and go straight to the local police force.
Mr. Fresher.
I think everybody covered everything already. So.
One more thing.
Go right ahead, Mr.
With
Chapman.
what she was talking about, I've talked to several teachers, and I know some other counties that use it. But, being on the board, you get a lot of comments from the public and, like what's going on in the school system. And up at the high school, I know, I don't know if you guys have ever had this. I'm not even going to get into it, why I'm asking to look into it, but I think we brought it up. But it's a bathroom, like electronic bathroom monitoring. How do you?
Monitoring.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. System to where, like, you can see if a kid how many times they've used the bathroom in the day. So if they leave, like, let's say second period out of your class using the bathroom, they go right into first period and they go to ask to use the bathroom again, or certain kids that take bathroom breaks at the same time to go meet up in the bathroom and to do other things. But it's a way of looking at all that and putting it into a bigger picture. Do you know the app that I'm talking about?
I don't.
The thing, I know Braxton County has it, and some of our teachers said that it was proposed to them and they thought that we were getting it, and then it never came. So I don't know if it's something that we can look into, but anything to keep kids in the class where they're supposed to be.
I think what was one of the schools at the conference mentioned that they just have like single bathrooms now, so that you can monitor it more closely and you don't have multiple people in private spaces.
Well, I hear just like that. What
Which
led
is
to it
expensive.
is, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like a sport now, though. It's like a slap sport or something where they slap each other. But from what my understanding is at the high school that's becoming a problem, where they're going in the bathroom and like challenging, hey, I challenge you, and we'll meet up there at 2:15 in second period or whatever, going and meeting up in the bathroom and having slap offs. I don't know if that's happening or not, but that's what I've been told. Yeah.
Interesting. Something we may want to look into.
Yeah.
The only other thing I have, the Leading Creek meeting is going to be the 20th of February, so I'll go over and have a report for the next meeting for that committee. And then if the board members just remember to do your self-appraisal, because then again, this is an accountability piece that has been sent out, and we'll have to take those results and get those submitted to the state. We have time, but that has to be reviewed at one of our meetings too as well, I do believe. So if we could get those results and that assessment taken, that would be great. Any other comments? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Moderating.